for Hayden.
To, all right, we are back from lunch. Next on the agenda is to address the detention center prison meal contract signature. Right here we have the contract, and all we are looking for is Nick's signature as the administrator and ours as the county's.
And when will this start?
I believe he wants to start with the new fiscal year.
How are you, Corey?
Hi? Corey, if you're here for the 1:45, it was canceled.
I just found that out as I was walking up the
Okay.
stairs.
Yeah, sorry, it was canceled first thing this morning, so
Okay.
we didn't have any lead time to,
I'll hang around.
you know. All right, we have one thing on the
You're
agenda.
good,
Thank you.
thanks.
And just so you guys know, what we're addressing is the 130, and that is the detention center contract.
For the meals,
Yeah.
and that's through the prison system, is that right?
Yeah, the detention center has been paying less than $20,000 a month, but just barely, to the hospital for meals for the detention center. It's been a nice partnership through the years, but the prison system is significantly less expensive. And Nick's argument has been, first of all, he's the administrator, so it really does become his decision. But he said, you know what, you guys asked me to treat this like a business. That's what I'm trying to do, is make a sound business decision. And his thought is, if we ever go back to a low number, need about 12 to break even. If we'd ever start, wavering around that 12 number, this would help him to be able to balance in the detention center. Right now, we're averaging about 40, so we're doing just fine. That's also the time that, good business practice, that you address some of your areas where you can save.
And also,
So that's
if
what
the
this-
hospital wanted out.
Excuse me, yes, Nick has talked with the CFO, Jenny Klaus, and the CFO, or the CEO, Kyle Hopstead, and they have been involved with this every step of the way. So, this isn't just the county ditching the hospital, this is something that Jenny did say, this kind of does make some sense, so that's what we're addressing.
And they had their first CT scanner patient last Wednesday.
Oh, did they? Wow.
Yep.
There's been some major changes over there in the last year.
And the MRI machine is scheduled for, I think, July the 11th. And we'll be here the morning, every Friday morning for half a day.
Well, the last time they were booked clear the whole day, I guess. I heard on the MRIs.
Well, last I heard, last week when I was over there asking about it, they said for half a day on the 11th. And every Friday, supposedly thereafter.
Would you like to see this, sir?
That's okay.
That's our contract.
Oh, well, that's basically what
We've been
what we
discussing.
approved before. I assume this is all the same.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Your office is involved with the investigation, is that right?
Investigation of what?
The big wreck in the BG's office.
What did the paper say today about what they're finding? And look at the skid marks.
Yeah, it didn't look favorable on the fire truck.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
Make a motion then that we sign, give you the authority to go ahead and sign the food contract with Pearson.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded to sign the contract with Montana Department of Corrections Montana Correctional Enterprises Broadwater County Detention Center Food Factory Contract. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thought you were supposed to be here.
All right, as was stated earlier, our 145 is canceled, but I do have one bit of business that was brought to me at lunch by DES, Mike Conkey. And last week we signed a letter regarding the pre-disaster mitigation grant, and that is to address the flooding that we had this last year. DES is fine with this letter, but they would like us to include different language. So that is the new language. It is verbatim from DES. What we need to do is just sign this new letter.
Do we need a motion? We don't need a motion, do we?
No, but I'm gonna ask for it just because I'd rather have too many than too few.
So moved.
It is slightly different. And it does guarantee a finite amount versus just a percentage. So, do we have a second, Franklin?
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded to sign the alternate language from DES for the pre-mitigation grant. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
I received a call from Josh down in South End of the county, complaining about Wheatland Road. Now, if my memory serves me correctly, this is the gentleman that actually lives in Jefferson County. But his house is just across the line. Is that not correct?
That's my recollection too, if it's the same gentleman.
And it is.
Okay,
And he's wanting some gravel hauled down that road because his wife and kids travel that road. Now bear in mind, he doesn't pay a dime taxes here.
and we've addressed that with Dana in the past, and what was agreed on by this board was if the Jefferson County Commission wants to contact us about an agreement, we'd be more than happy to work with them, but I don't think that there's any reason that Broadwater County would maintain a portion of a road that's not used by Broadwater County residents.
Right.
That's the one right off the end of Wheatland.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any input in that, Franklin?
Well, that's what I feel too. There's a bad agreement with Jefferson County and us, but otherwise I don't, he isn't in our county. He lives, his buildings are in Jefferson County besides, aren't they?
Yes. Real close to
And
the
let's see,
line,
where's the line?
right at his house.
I think it is where that old, I think there's a power line went through there or something, so that's probably the line.
Mhm.
It is.
So this road is,
And I'm sure.
that never was classed as that isn't a county road, is it?
Mm-hmm.
It is a county road to there?
But there's no legal obligation that we maintain all county roads, and that's why some get more, some get less. That's why we have a plan presented every year from Dana. This portion of county road is not used by any Broadwater County residents, so it's been one of those that Dana will do work on it, but it is not a priority by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Well, they had a cloudburst down there last
Wednesday?
Thursday.
Or, I thought Dan said Wednesday, oh, whatever.
Yeah, end of the week. And I'm sure it was really greasy then.
Yeah. I would suggest that he contact his commissioners, and if they would like to work out, some kind of agreement with us, I don't see any reason why this commission wouldn't be open to a discussion.
I think so.
Yeah, but I think that's up to them to contact us. Or if he wants to enter into, some kind of an agreement with Dana where he helps to pay for a portion of that, just like a road plan or an RID, that's something that can be worked out through his commissioners and us too. If you guys have any other ideas?
I don't.
Okay.
Even though it's a county road, Corey can listen to this, we're sure not obligated for one landowner, it's another county. You've been listening to the conversation. I mean, legally.
I think it's a matter of, and I hate to even offer an opinion, but I mean, can't maintain every county road at perfect standards, so it's a matter of where you prioritize.
Right,
You
right.
don't wanna hurt somebody, but at the same time, you gotta
I mean, if
stretch
you,
the money wherever you can stretch it.
say, if you come at us legally, well, I guess if you did, and we had to, we'd do it then, but,
Well, and Danny presents a road plan, and priorities are mail route and school bus.
right. Mhm.
And then he lists them.
Well, even if there was, some more Delaware County usage on it, that'd be a little bit more, you know. It'd still be a low priority one, but,
He needs to find somebody to build a house just across in Broadwater County.
that's what I say, leave it at that. If he legally challenged us, then I guess we'd have to go from there if he wanted, but does that sound right? I hate to put you on the spot, you're not.
Well, I'd have to look at the place to even give you any kind of an opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, can he get to his place just on that road that goes through Broadwater, or can he get it from the Jefferson side too?
You can, but you have to go farther to get out.
So,
Yeah, that's, I don't think it's even a road, well, it's just a road along that power line. I don't think it's even a.
There is
established
a
road.
longer route that would go north and around. But yeah, he has access out, he just would prefer a shorter route.
As we all would, you know.
Yeah, I certainly don't blame him for that, but this is, I think, his responsibility to put the pieces together and put together a proposal, work with his commissioners, and then come to us.
I'd agree.
All right,
I'll call him and inform him of such.
okay. The only other thing is we do have a 25% down payment for the Black Mountain software. And this is gonna come out of PILT, so we should have a vote to that effect.
Didn't we vote on this already,
No.
or not before the claim, huh?
Right. We did discuss this, we did vote to go with them, but we do need to vote on this because it's gonna come out of PILT.
I'll make a motion that we pay Black Mountain for their software for the county. And the money come out of Pelt.
Can I second
It's been moved and seconded to pay the 25% down payment for Black Mountain Software in the amount of $25,153.75 from PILT. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. 15375.
No, that's not the whole amount, that's just the down.
Just 25% down payment, yeah. And yeah, we voted some time ago to go with Black Mountain. And then the other one is the computers. We already voted for the money to come out of PILT for Julie, and then what we were gonna do is look at what the whole package is for clerk and recorder and sanitation. And this is because their computers would not work anymore after that particular date with Windows 7. Instead of just getting a new program, their computer systems were old enough that the argument was made, and I think well made, that they needed to just get new computers.
Doesn't this also include Tammy and Debbie?
It does, yeah. So what I'm thinking is if this is on the credit card and the credit card is due soon, we should at least have a vote to go ahead and pay it so that there isn't a late charge on that credit card. But then I think we need to put all the numbers together and take it out of mineral royalties as we usually do with the balance out of PILT, and we can do that through an adjusting journal entry, or revisit this next week if it isn't due. I just don't want us to be in a position where we don't pay $8,500 of our credit card bill and have to pay interest. Is
I
that
agree.
agreeable to you guys?
I'll make a motion then that we take it out of Pelt until we can see what mineral royalties has. And then adjust it.
You know, second.
I got a
Yes.
question, Madam Chair, if I could.
Yes.
When Julie went forward and bought the new computer that she needed for her job, based on the fact that XP was going out and they're not going to be any longer serviceable, can I, and at the same time, we had the Treasurer's Department already working, and as you earlier stated, working with Black Mountain and doing the IT work and getting all of this all kind of combined, working together, getting new computers. I'm just kind of wondering why it was such a rush for our sanitation department to move forward outside of the scheme of planning with the rest of the local government. Maybe if you explain that, because it doesn't make sense to me.
The issue of Black Mountain and DIS, which is the IT service, is totally separate
Well, it's
of the computers.
Part of the
Well, let me-
electronic programming infrastructure that we're talking about. Computers, service, programs, et cetera, everything had to be compatible. It was kind of a bigger package deal.
The issue with Black Mountain and DIS, which is the IT service, is separate of the need for the new computers because of the Word program that expired. So Doug took point on that, mostly because he is the treasurer and his office had the most need and the most issue. So it is a separate issue. Black Mountain and DIS are both also separate issues from each other. It's just, it made sense to kind of parallel everything because of timing more than anything else.
Okay.
So those two are separate, not involved with this. The issue with needing the new computers is entirely due to the fact that the Windows program that they all had was expiring and incompatible. Some of the programs that different county offices use have a different compatibility element. Sanitation is one, accounting is the other, and Doug's office, clerk and recorder, treasurer, is another. So Doug's could actually limp along a little bit, and he had some computers that were working fine. Julie's has to work more with Department of Environmental Quality, and there were some other issues there that made her actually, put her in a position of needing those much more soon. Debbie and Tammy have been using other computers to actually offset the need so that they could work more with Doug. So to answer your question, Julie had more immediate needs that had to be addressed. She couldn't wait. Doug was able to wait and
Okay.
get this done later, but they're all gonna still be put in the same package. The same percentage will come out of mineral royalties per, and then the balance will be taken out of PILT.
I understand that process. Madam Chair, and just for clarification, the reason I ask is because myself as a citizen with just my home computer, I can access all of the rules with DEQ. I can access all of the statutes required under that part of the world of government. And so it just I didn't understand what is our sanitation department having problems accessing that average citizens don't already with even XP.
It's not a question of accessing. We as citizens have particular things we can do. It's not a matter of just accessing information. She actually has particular systems that she has to work within on her computer system. It's a whole lot more technical than we have at home.
I'll have to ask Julie, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. You can get a full list of those from her. And that's true of most of our departments. We don't run just home computers with the regular home systems. We actually have a whole lot more of a professional, technical system on the computers. GIS is one of those examples. You betcha. All right, so we have a motion and a second to approve the paying for the time being of the computers for the clerk and recorders and accounting offices from PILT in the amount of $8,468.32. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. All right.
Now, when is Black Mountain going in? October?
That is my understanding.
That's what I thought. It's kind of scary coming in then because all the election stuff and the taxes.
There was, if I may,
Please.
Chairman,
Yeah.
there has been a lot of discussion about that. We decided there was no good time to do it.
There's not.
And October is when Black Mountain could come in and do it for us. And we figured with tax season coming up, they're actually gonna be here on site.
Oh, well,
Yeah. So if there are problems, they'll be here implementing the system, so,
well, the good news is, this isn't the first county.
right,
They have lots of counties.
right.
A lot of schools over at Black Mountain.
When we had the Department of Revenue meeting a couple weeks ago for the counties, Tyler had a breakout, Black Mountain had a breakout. There were, Debbie went to Black Mountain because they will be coming on, I went to Tyler. And there was, I don't know, maybe 10 of us in the room, out of 35 counties represented. It was a very small number that was in there, so.
Really?
Mhm. Yeah, Black Mountain is taking more and more of the market share.
Well, being as they have a lot of schools, it's my understanding they'll be able, Doug will, all we'll have to do is push a couple buttons to get the reports that the school gets, so to speak, instead of having to go through the hoops.
One more question on the agenda. We have not been for a tour, of the, thank you, of the detention center, which is our detention center. So I'm wondering, would you guys be interested in doing that next week after the, at the end of the meeting, which would be about 2:15?
I'm fine with it.
Franklin?
Doing a tour?
We do a quarterly tour of the detention center. We look at safety issues, upgrades. There's the new wall to see.
Looking
Yeah, I
for-
haven't seen some walls,
Yeah, maybe.
All right, I will get together with
never
Nick.
there anymore now anyway.
Excuse me?
I said I'm never there now anymore, so I don't see it.
We're gonna find the right cell for you. Shut down. Just kidding.
All right. Anything else for the good of the order? No? All right. This meeting is adjourned. Corey, thank you so much for coming. Appreciate that very much.
Glad to be here. I was interested in the next item that got canceled, so I'll have to look for another time when it is on the agenda.
Yeah, and one thing Franklin is looking into that will affect your office and perhaps this coming up on another agenda is a overall county investigation as far as where our wages for our employees sit as compared to other counties. Right now with some departments, we are actually 10th from the bottom in the state. So for hourly wages, so we'll be following up and we should have that here shortly.
Okay.
So that'll affect you, but I will tell you that the county attorney's budget is looking really strong, so that'll help for you when you do walk in, which I assume will be the case based on the primary numbers.
Never know.
You never know, but just letting you know just in case.
Okay. Thank you.
So, we're done. All right.
Have you heard anything on the audit for the reserve deputy line item?
I have, we should be getting that any day now. It's just, I would guess, a matter of their costing